December 17, Michael Zerafa looks to rise again to put on a show in his preparation before his world title eliminator bout in April. He's got everything to lose, not much to gain. His team didn't want him to take this one. Tune into the podcast, guys. This one is not to be missed. December 17. Make sure you're out there. Let's go. And the next guest on the podcast, he's a man that's held Australian boxing. He's always in the limelight. The main man, Michael Pretty Boy Zerafa. Mike, how we going, mate?
And good, brother. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad. Talk to us, man. How's things?
Yeah, things have been pretty crazy, man. Obviously with the whole COVID and stuff, but now we're back to normality. So 3 weeks, I'm jumping back in the ring after a long-awaited time, and I'm defending my title, and then back on the big stage in April.
Mate, talk to us. Michael Zerafa. No one could get your name out of their mouth, mate. You're all over the place. Reality TV, yeah. SAS, Australian boxing, world boxing, everything's happening, man. What do they say? Any publicity is good publicity. Good things happening.
Exactly right, man. I'm just trying to put focus on the sport, but whether you love or hate me, just tune in and support the sport, I guess. And I'm trying to take over that mundane role, and I think I'm doing it well because everyone's talking.
I mean, as long as it's paying the dollars, putting bums on seats, the interest is there.
Exactly
man.
Right.
You're laughing, bro. Talk to us Australian boxing as well. George Kambosos. Jeez, he did what a lot of people. What? Tell me about it, man. A lot of people didn't give him credit. Talk about Australian media. No one puts his name out there, and now everyone's jumping on the bandwagon.
Well, that's always the case. The same thing happened to me with Jeff Horn and, other guys that I fought. Then they come out to the woodworks after it's all done and dusted. But George, what can I say? Obviously I was leading to the camp. Me and him, we always touched base and spoke. And, mate, I knew it was going to be a big ask. But, I mean, if anyone could do it, it was going to be George. I know the dedication he puts in and, being a fighter as well, I know what it takes. And we both have that mentality. And like I said, couldn't be happier for him. And it was well-deserved.
Yeah, well-deserved indeed, man. George is that humble bloke who works hard. He's putting in the miles. You know him personally as well. Talk to us about the relationship you have, because a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, look, we always touch base, and when I have a big fight or he has a big fight, we always, communicate through socials and stuff like that, and through other media platforms. And on Friday, he actually messaged me, and I just said, mate, all the best, brother. You know what I mean? And it's time to go out there and shock the world. And I said, and the new, and he went out there and did exactly that. So, I mean, like I said, I know how hard he works, and he's one of those guys that stays quiet and gets the job done. And a lot of people will be looking up to him now, and myself in that category, man. Like I said, it can be done, and it's motivated me more now to push even harder because I have the same mindset as Georgie and the same work ethic, and like I said, I couldn't be prouder of him and his family and his team, and like I said, it was well deserved, and he put the sport on the map.
100%, man. It's a great time to be invested in Australian boxing. You got yourself, you're backing up December 12th, you got your own card. Talk to us about that, how that came about, because a lot of people on the world stage had your name, man. It couldn't be anything towards the back end of the year. Talk to us how that came about.
My team didn't really want this fight. We don't need this fight. We have already a contract signed for April, defending all the belts and back on the mainstream media on Fox Sports main event and big things ahead. I obviously can't say too much, but we've got a big fight. But I just wanted to get the fight just to just be back out there and just get the body back into that cutting weight. And, it's been 2 years, obviously, since I've been able to do that because of the pandemic that we're in. And obviously COVID just stopped everything. So for me, my team said, look, we don't really want this fight, but Mick, it's you, you want it. Let's make it happen. So again, it was hard to try to get an opponent because obviously we couldn't fly guys in or out. And this Hawaiian tough New Zealander, credit to him. I mean, he's got, nothing to lose, everything to gain. And he's coming with bad intentions. Man, I've got nothing to gain, everything to lose. So for me, I'm just giving this guy the opportunity. But it's more for me, getting back into that fighter's mindset, back into cutting weight, that training camp and just that mentality of there's a date, there's a venue, there's an opponent, and it's time to get in there and let's do what we do. And obviously seeing Georgia now, it's motivated me. And like I said, onwards and upwards from here.
100%. And a lot of people don't know this guy's got a good record. He's got a lot of KOs on there. And like you said, there's a lot for you to lose and not that much to gain. Talk to us about how dangerous these fights are and what people don't actually respect or understand what's on the line for you. Because in April, we've got something signed. It's TBA, hasn't been disclosed. All that can go to shambles depending on what happens December 17th.
Well, a perfect example is yesterday's fight. Georgie and Lopez, everyone backed Lopez. And, because of his record and who he's fought and what he's done. And that's what happens. These fighters think, oh, yeah, they overlook and see what's next. And, after this fight and after that fight. And I never do that. I respect everybody that gets in. Anyone that gets in the ring, has got my respect, because it takes a lot of balls to get in the ring and fight a man with a record like mine. So, credit to him. I've trained as if I was fighting for a world title. Nothing's changed. Nothing changes for me on my end. I've got a job to do. It's like driving. I just focus on what I'm doing, not what everyone else is doing. And I'm going to go out there and give it my all. And I've left no stone unturned. So I truly believe I'll get the decision. But again, I can't overlook him and think what's next. I'm just focused on December 17. And then obviously next year, it's a very, very big year for us.
Hey, 100% indeed, man. We're all looking forward to it, Like we mentioned earlier, it's a great time for Australian boxing. We got yourself, we got Georgia, we got 80,000, we've got the belts coming. It's important for people to get on board. With that, though, comes a lot of pressure. Mike, your name's everywhere. Melbourne Victory, SAS, a lot of opportunities coming, because come the moment, a lot of people want you. How are you juggling all that with training and with what's to come next year? Because you got a lot coming.
I'm just trying to enjoy it all.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to enjoy it all, man. I'm just trying to soak it up. This doesn't last forever. And it's pretty sad that, everyone, I'm the villain and everyone doesn't get behind me. And we're meant to be lifting each other, you know what I mean? Like Georgia yesterday, everyone got behind it. That's what it's all about, Tim Zhu, as much as we have our differences, if he had a world title shot, brother, bring it home. All these guys, we need to get behind each other. The sport's tough as it is. And it's not really that, noticed in Australia, until guys like myself, Tim Zhu, George, and all these other big names, get out there and do what we've got to do. But it's disappointing, but like I said, I just try to enjoy it. I just try to block it out. And, there's a lot of politics in the sport. There's a lot of he said, she said stuff. And I just wish everybody, understood where I came from and gave me a fair share. But again, whether you love or hate me, I'm just trying to turn eyes on the sport. And it's just more a character. People that really do know me and know what I do for a living and how I am as a person. That's all that matters, because all these haters, I've never met one of them. So, at the end of the day, if they knew better, they'd do better. But it's just sad that they try to put everyone down. They try to put me down and try to make it like, I've got no career in the sport after all I've achieved. So it's sad, but again, I just stay strong. I stay motivated, and I just keep fighting through, man. I'm a fighter. That's what we do.
100%, man. And look, it's very uplifting. And, a lot of the people, youngsters, aspiring athletes, all can take from your story, because, you've done what you've done, and the challenges are still there. The mental health, the pressure of life, and everything that comes with the limelight. In this day and age, it's totally different to yesteryear, because everyone has access to you. Like you said, you've never met them.
Exactly right, man. And when it first happened, I went into a pretty dark place, man. Like I didn't know how to deal with it all, and I'm a big advocate for mental health and stuff like that. So I was suffering with my own little issues, and it was sad that, when you're down, everyone still kicks you. You're meant to help each other, and, each one teach one. And that's what I've always been about. And, but look, I've bounced back now. I've just switched it off and shown my true professional side. And, it's not all about just being in the ring. It's about outside the ring, and staying focused and staying on what needs to be done, on the task ahead. And that's just what I've been, really working on.
100%, man. And I'm a firm believer of perception is not reality. A lot of people try to push the narrative that's something that's not. I don't think that you're as bad as people portray you in Australian boxing. I think it's personalities. People have certain agendas, because the public get behind you, and you sell out tickets. You look at Bendigo Stadium, you look at Melbourne, no matter where you go, you're a draw. You look at Newcastle, when you guys and Tim didn't fight, the ticket sales went to shits. So there's something
correct,
there.
And that's what it's all about.
It's Michael Zerafa.
That's what it's all about, and that's what Mundine. Me and Mundine, we had a long conversation after our fight. And he said, "Mate, this is how I was successful. At the end of the day, as much as I accomplished in the sport," he said, "I was hated." He said, "But at the end of the day, I was the most talked about. I put bums on seats. I sold out stadiums, and this is where his opportunities came." And for me, I've got that personality where I can be, loud and quick-witted. So I use it, but off camera, I'm respectful to everybody. I always give everybody my time. Every comment, I always make sure I reply. I've got people that look up to me, and I try to be a role model for these guys, and it's all scripted. It's not me as a person. And, I've had conversations with people like, oh, you're actually really nice. I'm like, yeah, it's just all a part of the game, and that's just my character. You always got a good guy and a bad guy. And, I'm happy to be that bad guy, but, I also want people to know that that's actually not who I am as a person. But sadly, people believe that what they see is the actual person I am. And it is sad sometimes, but, you can't sit there and dwell on it. You just gotta, have a Coke and a smile and just get on with life,
100%, man. And a lot of people, like you've mentioned a lot of times before, it's a business and it's
Correct.
part of marketing, it's part of selling. You need bums on seats, you need interest, because at the end of the day, it's what pays the bills. And we've mentioned Georgie a bit in this conversation we've had. We both know George pretty well. If you look at the Tiafimo, the hype up, how he got into Tiafimo's head, that's not George Kambosos off camera. That's not George Kambosos at home. He's the softest, nicest bloke, similar to yourself. He's both practically the same. But come the moment, it's mental warfare is a part of it, and you got to do that because you know him better than I do. That's not how he is.
Exactly right. And that's the same with me, like you can't have two guys in the ring, saying all the best, God bless, shaking hands and hugging it out, People are going to be like, what's going on here, So I just try to bring that tension, bit of, that outgoing and loud personality into the press conferences and stuff like that, just to, get everyone tuning in. And, like I said, whether you hate or you love me, they're going to watch it. And that's what I want, whether they're there to support me or not. I know they don't hate me personally. It's just they've got to pick a person. And, because I was loud, I've picked the other guy. So that's what we want. We want people to tune in. And then when I do win these titles and I do get the shot like Georgie and all these other big names around the world, that's my time to shine. And that's when I'm going to show the real me and say, if it wasn't for the way I was and the personality that I've shown and the character I brought into the sport, it wouldn't be possible. So, all my fans and supporters and all my haters, this is all because of you. So at the end of the day, I just stay focused on what I'm doing. And, like I said, yesterday's fight, man, he motivated me even more. So, again, another huge shout out to Georgie and the team, man, because, mate, what a fucking champion.
Yeah, look, champion indeed, especially because he's going about it a similar way you're going about it, Mike, because he could have been the cash cow in Australia. He could have had the people behind him. That didn't happen. Now, we don't want to get into the politics as to why that didn't happen. He went around, he fought on the cards, non-televised. He worked his way up. He earned his rep, got his badges, got his shot, took his shot. You're in a similar stage here because you sell as well. People still want you to be the main event. They still want you on Fox. So you don't have these people pushing the narrative, Michael Zerafa. If anything, it's going the other way. It seems like every time there's a No Limit card, Takashi comes out and all of a sudden everyone's talking shit on Michael Zerafa. How'd that come about, mate? What's going on there?
Man, that's what I wanted, like at the end of the day, where there were 24 hours out of the biggest fight, that they talked up, and what a show it was, credit to No Limit. It was an unbelievable show, but, they were talking about Michael Zerafa, and, wherever there's Tim Tszyu or wherever there's a big fight, it's Michael Zerafa. And, I didn't even know anything about that, to be honest. Like, we talked about me obviously sparring Takeshi and another world-rated fighter over there. And he said one thing, I said another thing. I had some footage, he had some footage, and it just blew out of, control. And again, it went he said, she said. So, but again, that was my my job. I was trying to just, get myself out there and just hang around, just be annoying. And it works. And then obviously when I get my shot, and which isn't too far away, like I said, we're rising again now after all the 2 years of layoff and the pandemic we're in, and now it's my time to shine now, and it all starts December 17. I've got a new mindset. I really, as hard as it was, not being able to do what I love doing and what I'm good at doing, it was 2 years of mental building, and I feel like it's a new version of me now, and physically and mentally. So I still struggle with things here and there, as everyone does, but I mean, I think I'm on another level now, and I'm at that world level. I've fallen short a few times now at the top level, and I think my next opportunity now, I'm going to grab it with both hands. I need to grab it with both hands. So,
100%, man. You're like a lion roaring. You know what I mean? It's
ready to go, man.
Ready to go, man. And something about this platform, the podcast, and the conversations that we have, it's very uplifting because it gives a different side to you. And it also gives different perspectives for up-and-coming fighters or up-and-comers who are chasing dreams in any facet in life, because it's not all rosy. You know, if life was like a novel, it would be a fairy tale, and the realities
Correct.
of life are otherwise. Talk to us about the mindset that you've had in these 2 years, because a lot of elite athletes, a lot of elite personnel, you look at Tyson Fury, you look at a lot of people that have been in the downs and they get up, and successful people like yourself. What message would you take to the youngsters, especially even in the school system, man? They haven't went to school for 2 years. Imagine being robbed 2 years in high school, for goodness sake. No, talk to them about that, because it's not easy. How do you come out about it? Because you're a professional athlete, you're at the elite level. How did you get there from there?
Well, the first thing I kept telling myself that it can't last forever. You know, that's the key thing of understanding why, and it doesn't last forever. And, you know, every day I woke up with a different mindset. You know, some days I'm like, I'm done, you know, then there's other days I'm motivated. Then, you know, every day is a different day. And some days you wake up and that motivation just hasn't kicked in. But for me, I just try to remember why I'm doing this and who I'm doing it for. And, you know, I've come this far, you know, so why would I throw it all in just because we've been put on pause? You know, not quit, we've just been put on pause. So I just kept telling myself that eventually, you know, we're going to come out of this. And, you know, I knew that everyone was in it. It wasn't just me. If it was just me, I probably wouldn't have been able to deal with it, because, you know, I would have felt obviously locked up and, you know, I would have gone crazy. But I just kept telling myself that, you know, we're in this together. You know, the whole world's going through a pandemic. Just try to stay strong and build on what I'm not good at. And that was my mental side of things. And you know, in the gym, you know, we never work on things that we were good at. We always work on things that we need improvement on. So I just kept staying focused, just try to remind myself every day that, you know, we're one more day closer to it coming out of this and going back to normality. And, you know, 2 years later, we're there. And again, now I'm excited. 3 weeks to go, man. I feel sorry for this guy, man, because I'm ready to bounce my gloves off his head.
Yeah, look, I'm looking forward to it, man. December 17th. Is there any streaming service? I've heard that there's going to be no streaming service. It's down in Melbourne. We can't get out there. What's going to go on there?
Yeah, look, man, we kept it low key, man. Like I said, if it wasn't for me, this show wouldn't be happening. So credit to Team LaBruna for giving me obviously the power and the opportunity to get out there before Chrissy and the end of the year, because it's been a shit year, like I said, for everybody. But we didn't want to, you know, go crazy, and obviously because it's not a huge fight. It's just more for me, just to get, like I said, to get the body back in that fighter's mentality and the weight off, and, you know, going through that, you know, rocking up to the gym knowing I'm in camp, you know, like I've got 10 weeks now and let's go. We've got 9 weeks, 8 weeks, and just building towards a date. And I'm super excited. Like I said, we've trained for everybody. You know, whoever was going to be on us for December 17, you know, our training wouldn't have changed. So, you know, we're sparring 2-3 times a week. You know, we're doing all the road work, we're doing all this, you know, strength and conditioning and all that stuff. So for me, like I said, it's given this guy a huge opportunity, and credit to him for taking the fight. But I'm coming back with bad intentions. You know, 2022 is going to be a year of statements, and I told you so. And, you know, everyone should have buried me when they had the chance now, because I'm coming back with bad intentions. And like I said, when I get this next opportunity for a world title, you're going to hear another and the new.
Hey, mate, it's uplifting. I'm telling you, when you were saying that, I was just thinking of Conor McGregor after his first Nate Diaz. He told him, mate, you should have killed me because I'm coming for you. And he came back and he took
exactly
him
right, man. Exactly. And that's what I mean. You know, I've had so much in the last 2 years, you know, a lot of people wouldn't be able to cope. That, you know, I just kept, you know, fighting through it, man. Just kept digging away. And at the end of that dark tunnel, there's a little bit of light, and it's slowly starting to get brighter. And, you know, I thank everybody that's shown their love and support, obviously, and you know, helped me get through it. And, you know, like I said, I can't wait to get back in there for the people. And that's why I am how I am in front of a camera, just to give back to the sport. You know what I mean? To put Australian boxing, you know, back on the map.
100%, man. And we need personalities like yourself. You know, you guys are doing such great things. You're going in December. If I'm not mistaken, the next thing the contractors are talking March. And you got SAS April. Okay. And then you got SAS in there. How you fit in SAS after that? Because it's 2 weeks of grueling. I watched Sam Burgess win the last series. Jeez, man. I get tired on my couch.
I'm looking forward to it, man. And like I said, another opportunity that I thank God for. And Next year you're gonna see a lot of me. I'm gonna make sure I'm everywhere. Whether I'm on your TVs or in a boxing ring, I'm coming for the takeover. 2022 Zerafa. It's the takeover.
100%, man. It's really uplifting. Mike, you got to tell the people. A lot of people think a tough guy is a macho guy, someone who doesn't show any weakness. It's definitely not the case. That's not reality. Talk to the people, the youngsters watching, because there's a lot of false perceptions, a lot of people struggling. And the stigma with men is we don't express ourselves, we don't talk, we don't get out there, we don't seek that help. You're fighting at the highest level. You're the most elite athlete in this country, and you're not shy to talk from the heart. Say it as it is. Talk about your struggles. Tell us the importance of that to get out of it.
Yeah, look, I doubt myself a lot, and I look in the mirror sometimes, and I think, I just pick faults 24/7, and I'm super hard on myself, and that plays a huge role on some days. But then I just remind myself and count my blessings. My legs, my arms. I've got full function of my whole body, and I remind myself that when I go for runs and I'm struggling, and I see someone that's in a wheelchair, and I think how selfish could I be? Sitting there saying I hate my life or this and that. When there's guys out there that are still smiling and can't do the things I do. So I really remind myself that I'm super grateful, and a bad day can only last for 24 hours. So I try to stay as strong as I can, and some days it's hard. I wake up and I just look in the mirror and I'm like, man, what an ugly dude, or what, I pick so many things that are wrong with me, and then I just laugh it off and just say, you know what, stop being so hard on yourself, man. And you got bigger things in front of you. You got so many blessings that you can count, and you got full function of your whole body, man. So, and then like I said, if you got air in your lungs and you got a heartbeat, man, you're blessed. So I always tell myself these things, man.
100%. It's about pulling it all back and living in the now, understanding at the current moment, in this instance, in this second, we're doing all right. We could have been worse off. Reflection, understanding people, like you said, have it worse off, understanding the opportunities, understanding the capabilities of exceeding. Now, sometimes like you said, you have those days where you don't want to do anything. You can meditate, find yourself. Little improvements are good improvements. You know what I mean? You don't want to be going down, but you don't want to be too hard on yourself, because a lot of people feel that I need to be at certain levels because someone else is, or it's someone else's script, that's someone else's life.
Yeah, exactly right. That's someone else's life. So God's planned out a different path, and I think social media is the biggest killer for that, because everyone jumps on social media and sees everyone's happy life. And at that point in time when they've jumped on, they might not be so happy. So it brings these people down and gives them all different kind of negative thoughts. But everyone goes through it. Everyone goes through ups, downs, highs and lows. That's life. That's just God playing games with us, just to see how tough we really are. But at the end of the day, we're all equal. We all go to that one place at the end of our lifetime, and I feel like everyone should be lifting each other. And it's sad that I do cop a lot of negativity and stuff, but at the end of the day, I know who my real people are, and like yourself, give me the time and know my real personality and know my how big my heart actually is.
100%. And like you said, something, you hit the nail on the head. Life's a test. At the end of the day, we weren't promised a holiday. We were promised to come here to be the best version of ourselves, because we're only going to be remembered for the good times, the good memories, the good things,
Correct.
The impact we had. Not going to be remembered about the dollar. You're going to look at all these people who have money. We're both going to the same pit, mate. We're going underground.
Exactly right, man. And that's what I said. Everything in this world's borrowed, man. At the end of the day, we all end up as a photograph, and our kids will show photos of us and say, this guy was a world champion, or this guy was an unbelievable podcaster or a human being. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to do. I just want to leave an impact on life, a legacy for me. Whether it's in the sport or as a person, or as a father, or whatever it may be, and just be remembered as someone that gave back.
100%, man. And something, when I was younger, someone pulled me aside and goes, something about a credit card lifestyle, along the lines of, you feel that you think that these people are living this certain life. It's all a portrayal, man. It's something that they're not really there. They just put it on a facade and act. And someone I learned from a lot was Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather went through so much struggles, but I felt he had everything. He could have access to whatever he wanted. Yeah, he wasn't ever happy or content. And a lot of people from this area that had some relations with Floyd or flew overseas, they're always like he was missing or lacking or was trying to fit in. And it comes down to deficiency in your own character and your own self. Because if you're not comfortable with you, you're never going to fit in. And bro, who cares what people think? Stuff them. This is how I
Exactly
am.
right. And we all do it, though. We all do it, like even on my socials, you look at all my posts, it's me happy, and there's days where I'm not. But at the end of the day, I'm proud that I can speak up about my highs and lows. And I encourage it's not weak, and it's okay to reach out. And there's tough times, whether you lost a loved one, or you've lost a job, or you didn't quite make the sport you wanted to make, or whatever it is. Everyone suffers with difficulties in their life, and it feels so much better when you speak out, and and it feels even more better when you help somebody. So anyone that tunes in here and follows yourself or follows me, and whether you love or you hate me, reach out, because I'm only like I said, a message away. And I sleep so much better knowing I've helped somebody and brought someone back up to my level, and that's what it's all about. Because like I said, in 40, 50 years from now, we're just a photo, and I want to be remembered.
100%. And you look at all the world's religions, right? We all stem from the Abrahamic faith. You look at the Abrahamic faith, one of the pillarstone or the cornerstone is supplications. You want your supplications to be answered before God. One of the conditions is to supplicate for someone else, to help someone else. It's crazy how, like you're saying, it comes back in return, and you get it in twofolds, because like you say, and you continuously say, it's all about uplifting, positive energy. If one makes it, we all make it. Why don't we all try and help one another rather than step on each other's toes? And you know what I've learned along the years? I now feel sorry for the person who steps on someone's toes, or has to look down upon someone, who has to be condescending.
Yeah,
because it's a deficiency. They got an illness in their character. It's something wrong
correct.
with
That's
them.
why I always say, if they knew better, they'd be doing better. And it is sad, because they're putting somebody down, but they've got underlying issues of whatever it may be going on in their life. And as much as they're putting someone down, I want them to say, you can speak up, and you don't have to. You can go about it another way. You know what I mean? And you're just making it worse for yourself. But sadly, people think it's the best way to go about things. And like I said, I do get a lot of negativity, but the tables will turn, because obviously when I get to the top, which I'm not far from, I'm sitting at number 8 in the world now, and 2022 is a huge year for me. And like I said, the tables will turn, but I'm just grateful to be in the position I am, and God's given me the ability to do the things I can. And like I said, anyone, like I said, wherever, if you love or you hate me, and I cross somebody that has an issue, I'll always be there to help. That's just my character, man. I'll give you my last dollar if I had to.
Mate, honestly, you're a gem, Mike. I love talking to you. You're always uplifting, man, because it's people like you in the world that's needed, and it's good to hear it from you, and hopefully the people sinks in with them. And if it doesn't sink
Praying,
in,
brother, praying, man. Praying.
It'll sink in by 2022. Don't you worry about that. How's camp going, bro? How's the body? How's the workout?
Going well, man. Like I said, we've trained twice a day. And like I said, it just feels so good. The motivation's back. Just because I know there's a date there, nothing's really changed for me. I train always the same, for whoever I'm fighting. We implement obviously different game plans, but knowing I've got an end date there now, and got all my fight kit ready, my new boots, it feels real. And people say, "Oh, you're fighting this guy, you're fighting that guy." People don't realize I fought. They look at my last 7 fights, and I fought absolute animals. And obviously I can't call up Canelo Alvarez or call up Triple G and say, "Hey, brother, I'm coming over next week. Be ready." If I could, I would. But it doesn't work like that. There's a system, and obviously being inactive for so long, there's a little bit of a process, and that all starts December 17, and then obviously first week of April, I've got a huge fight. Winner takes all. There's bragging rights involved, and may the best man win. But I said I'm coming with bad intentions, and I'm coming with statements to make and people to prove wrong.
100%, and that I feel you will do, and more. And God bless you, and power onwards. What's the go with the vaccinations? Any mandatory vaccines for the fighters in Melbourne? Are you having to go under any scrutiny? Like I heard on the No Limit card, the last one, fighters had to be vaxxed. If they weren't vaxxed, they had to take it the week off.
Well, yeah, I think it's the same here. Pretty much wherever we go, we've got to show a certificate saying that we've been double jabbed, which, look, I had no dramas with it, but there's a lot of people that still haven't been jabbed. But I was lucky. I had no side effects, no nothing. So I was pretty cool. I mean, but unfortunately, yeah, in venues and stuff like that, where, you're not allowed to attend unless you've had the double vaccination.
Yeah, same. I've had the double vax. I was surprised one of the fighters had Joel on yesterday, and he basically said he took the week off the fight, and he was just his lymphs. He was sick, and he had a lot of inflammation, and kind of wrecked him a bit. He goes, he didn't use it as an excuse. He's also fighting on your undercard. You got all Sam Labruno's guys on. Could have sold a lot of pay-per-views. Huh? What's going on? You didn't want to televise
again. You know, if Sammy said to me, guys, mate, if you don't want this fight, there's no show. So, you know, I didn't want to be that guy that obviously pulls the pin on other guys' careers as well, you know, because they obviously needed a run and stuff like that. And but for me, it was all about, you know, again, getting that mindset back on. You know, there's a date, there's an opponent, you know, there's a camp, there's a diet that needs to be, you know, put in place. So that was all I really tried to do for me. And then obviously I didn't want to go back into 2022 straight into a war without that prep of the body. So I'll get over this, enjoy Chrissy, and then straight back into it, you know, first week of January and train right through to April and get the job done.
Yeah, no, ring activity is very important. A lot of the elite fighters just keep stressing on that because it's a routine, getting your body ready, getting your, you know, you'd know it more than anyone, and I'm sure it's the right decision. SAS, mate, pinch yourself, man. You're on reality TV, one of the biggest shows on TV.
Yeah. Mate, it was an awesome experience. I can't obviously say too much because...
Oh, it's filmed. I thought it was filming next year. Oh, you've done it.
Well, it comes out. Yeah, so it comes out next year, but I obviously can't say too much. But what an experience. What a journey. And I'll say again, next year's going to be a busy year. You're going to see me on a few more other TV shows. And I'm looking forward to it. You know, staying active. And, you know, I've been quiet for the last 2 years, so I've got a lot of catching up to do. So I'm coming out with bad intentions in the ring, and I'm going to come out and be a TV celeb star maybe for the next year or so.
Legend. Hey, Mike, I've had the winner of Beauty and the Geek, had Lightning Lockie on. Now you've been on SAS. I'm going to claim I've had SAS on. You're going on The Bachelor or Love Island. I've missed both of those shows. I haven't got someone yet.
Mate, I don't think I fit the category, man. I nearly made Big Brother. My media manager actually offered me Big Brother, but I didn't think that really sat well with me either. So I said, look, when other opportunities come, like Survivor and things that kind of, I don't want to go on those TV shows that aren't really, you know, career elevating, you know, shows. You know, I want to go more on like the SAS, the Survivor, and all those kind of shows. I'm not really keen on The Bachelor and things like that. So
what about
for me, like I said,
you go on the block?
The block, look. Yeah, look, something like that I'd be interested in too, you know, like Amazing Race and all these kind of shows, you know, that can that help elevate my profile as well and you know, just build character as well, you know, and it's good for me too because it gives me different, you know, I don't have to be that tough guy 24/7. People can see the real Michael Zerafa, you know, the comedian, the real, you know, cheeky, laid back kind of guy that pulls pranks on everybody, you know, and just has a laugh. So, you know, it's good to have both worlds. And, you know, next year's going to be a busy year for me.
Hey, 100%, mate. One of the greatest guys in Australian boxing, Michael Pretty Boy Zerafa. Mike, what are you going to tell the fans worldwide, everyone watching? Final message.
Hey, 2022 is going to be a big year, man. I'm coming with bad intentions. And it all starts December 17. All the guys that love me and support me, I love you so much. And the guys that hate me, keep on hating.
Mate, we all love you, Mike. Don't worry about the haters. They don't exist. Here's the pro. I don't know what I am. We're out.